told us Windows 95 would be faster.
With better internet browsing and email.
It is.
It's over 5. Hi everyone and welcome to Danipedia. I'm Dan.
I'm Dan.
And this is your go-to place for media, news, gaming, news, tech news, science news.
All of the newses.
All the newses that matter
The major news
to
food
us.
groups.
Yeah. So let's dive right into it. We are talking this week about movies. Somewhat.
Well, we're taking a little step back from movies.
Yeah. We've prepared something a little bit. I'm making it sound much worse than it is. We're not trying to kill anyone.
No.
We've made a special Christmas episode for you. That'll be coming out in a few days. And I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it's very, very Christmassy.
It's jingling all the way.
Yes.
So
if you don't see it, then you
Yeah.
might be bad for your elf.
Yeah. Don't watch it while you're home alone.
Yeah.
Or you might die hard. We're going to talk about one movie and one movie alone.
And there's only one movie that matters this week.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for quite a while now, and we've both been very excited about it because the man directing it is our favourite director,
The Bay.
Bayleaf.
Beyond all else.
Whatever we want. Michael Bay has gone down the Netflix wormhole and has produced a movie which can only be described as a 100-mile-an-hour action thriller from start to finish.
6 Underground.
Yeah.
This film has it all. And you know what? I thought sometimes when we did the trailer review video a couple of days ago, I was thinking, no, this can't be. This is overhyped. This is never going to deliver.
It delivered.
100%.
delivered.
100%.
It's so good.
In the trailer, I was like, oh, I see a neon green sports car. And then when the film started, I was like, it's going to be ages till that bit. No, there's the neon green sports car. What are we doing now?
2 minutes in, yeah.
Oh, hello, Dave Franco. Oh, bye, Dave Franco. Took no time.
Right, whoa.
Oh.
There's going to be spoilers in this review.
There's a lot of spoilers.
Because we're not holding back.
Yeah, it's on
Right.
Netflix.
And
watch it first.
I watched the trailer and I thought this could be a chase movie. It didn't give that much, but I thought this could be a chase movie. That green car could be a character. It wasn't. It was absolutely done within 15
That's written off.
It was done, gone, moved on to a Ferrari. Obviously, it's got to be a Ferrari in there because it's Michael Bay. There's got to be a speedboat. There's a super yacht. There's a foreign dictator. There's genocide. There's gas attacks. There's a coup. There's military intervention. There's police intervention. There's death. There's faking
everything.
death. It's the goriest Michael Bay film I've ever seen, but it only adds to the excellence.
There were some times, I don't know, I mean, like, we've just been having, like, sort of a lot of food with family, and you know when you're, like, eating, and there's more buffet and more stuff's coming out, and then, oh, there's another tray of samosas and stuff. It kind of felt like that. I was gorging on the action watching this film.
I loved it.
It's just relentless. The violence, the heists,
The character developments, it gives you
the backstories, it does these little snippet
really
backstories.
concise. This is why this person's important. This is the skill set this person brings. There's 6. They're all underground. There's a team of 6 people. They have decided that there's too much evil in the world. They want to change the world. And the only way they can figure out by doing that is to basically go out and blow up whatever they want to get rid of. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Fake their own deaths and then just fight all the baddies.
Yeah, and also on top of that, the leader's a billionaire, so funding's no problem.
Yeah.
They can have whatever equipment they want, vehicles, aeroplanes, helicopters, guns, whatever they want they get because the owner
It's
is a
just
billionaire.
relentless start to finish. It's just relentless action. There was always a point I thought, oh, they're going to have to trail off and do like a sad chatty bit. Those bits only last like 30 seconds and it's like, boom, on with the action.
Yeah.
And if there's no action in the present, then they just do a flashback with some action instead.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
To fill it up.
It's brilliant.
And it leads up to this. It culminates in this huge finale with just the most Michael Bay effect-laden thing.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say, in the immortal words of Jesse from Breaking Bad, yes, Mr. White, magnets. It's incredible.
Yeah. Don't watch this film if you've got a pacemaker because the magnetic field is so strong.
It's going to take you out.
out.
So let's do a thumb rating for 6 Underground. Oh my goodness!
It's 4 thumbs.
It's the first ever 4 thumbs of the show.
Yeah,
and I won't take it back. I know what people are going to say. People are going to say, "Oh, it's relentless. Yeah, it's tasteless. It's not an Oscar winner." Yeah, you can say it all day, but it's just like last week when we were talking about the trailer.
Bay's films are tasteless and not Oscar winners.
Yeah,
that's why we love them.
This is fulfillment of it's of a fast food nature. This is not the film that's good for your soul. It's the film that's good for your belly. It just nourishes you with its sweet action and explosions.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So yeah, go and see it. Basically, it's on.
You don't have to go anywhere. You just put it on now.
Just put it on now. Not now.
Not now.
Watch the rest of the episode.
Watch the end of this, then
maybe
watch the next one,
and then watch a couple of our videos.
Yeah.
Then go and watch Netflix when you've run out of stuff of ours to watch.
And once you've watched it, come back here and comment on the video.
That's right. So let's move on and let's talk TV shows.
TV shows.
So this week, I want to come once again back to Watchmen. Watchmen, it's just delivering. It is just so good. And it's got better and better and better. And now it's starting to flesh out all of these plot holes or areas of the plot of the original comic that were never properly fleshed out. Backstories and
squids,
bits in between, and squids and I'm going to try and avoid spoilers for the benefit of you, Dan, as well as the benefit of our viewers. But Dr. Manhattan is fully in it now.
Because Dr. Manhattan was always fully in it.
Well, yes, but now he's fully in it.
I haven't watched this yet, and I'm really excited about it. I've got the whole thing Sky Plus. So when I get several hours to myself, I may take a day off work mid-Christmas and just go have a 12-hour shift.
You must. If this is anything to go by, so it's building up this week. So tomorrow, the season finale is released. And I'm super duper excited, super sad that this is going to be the end of the first season. And I'm a little bit worried. To be honest. I really want other people to get involved with this. Because I've not heard anyone really talking about this show. And if this gets cancelled, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
I don't think it will. Because in America, it has just got the biggest following. It's absolutely taken off. Everyone loves it. And in the nerd circles... especially around things like the Unnamed Project and Tested and stuff like that, they're really hyping this up. They absolutely love it. And those guys are the nerds that matter. They're like the nerd leadership.
Okay, so go out and watch, or again, stay at home and watch Watchmen.
Stay at home and watch Watchmen,
And only after you've read the comic. And if you haven't read the comic, then go out and get the comic.
First things first, graphic novel. Get that. Get a reproduction copy of that and watch and read your way through that. You will not be disappointed. If you keep it by your bed for a week, do a few pages, you will enjoy it. It is great. It's a great story. The artwork's incredible. You'll love it. You can't not like it. You know, even my wife enjoyed Watchmen. She loves the movie. I mean, the Snyder movie. She loves it. But, you know...
TV show's better
than the movie, so everyone tells me. So I can't wait. I love the movie as well, to be fair. I can't there's just nothing I dislike about it, other than the fact there's no squid.
No.
There's no squid. There's no squid in the movie, is there?
So, squids aside, what have you been watching this week?
I watched The Crown season 3.
Oh, I say.
Yeah, it's a bit of a completely different change of pace, but I love something that's I love a period piece. I was, I can't help it. I got hooked into Downton. I get hooked into all of that sort of stuff. If there's a war involved in it, especially if it's like a World War One or World War Two segment in that, I can't help it. I love it. And this year we've gone forward in time. We've had a bit of a generational skip, and we've had a full change of cast.
That's right.
So we've got Olivia Colman, Oscar winner, playing the Queen.
Gem of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, she's come a long way from Peep Show, which she was equally as good in. She's a great
her strangest role. She was like a weird. She was one of the receptionists or like the admin staff in Green Wing. Do you remember Green Wing?
Yes.
She was an admin in Green Wing, and the admin's sole function, they didn't really talk or anything. They just had they were like these little interludes, like they were like little skits between the main story.
Yeah, I have glimpses of that, but
she's come a long way.
Yeah, she's come a long way. She's won an Oscar, and now she is the lead role in a pretty big budget.
Phenomenal actor.
And the guy who it's Tobias something. I can never remember his name.
I know
he plays
exactly
the Blackfish.
Yeah,
he's the Blackfish in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's playing Prince Philip, and his Prince Philip is spot on.
Really?
Like, yeah, he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's put me on to some really. The thing about this show, I spend half my time on my phone looking about how accurate this show is. Some of it's it's not accurate at all. But there's certain things on it that, scandals that they've been involved in that happened in the 50s and 60s that we've just never been, get taught about it, you don't know about it. It turns the king who abdicated was in there with Hitler. Him and Hitler and Wallace Simpson best buds.
Yeah.
And the plan was, they were going to adopt peace with the UK.
It was I can't remember what the thing's
Marburg
called.
Files.
Appeasement?
The Marburg Files.
Yeah, the political position was appeasement.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a Russian spy in Buckingham Palace who curated the Queen's art collection.
Whoa.
That all came, it's brilliant. It throws out so many things that you never knew would happen. And best of the best, playing Princess Margaret.
Oh, yeah. Hold up, HB.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, she's unbelievable. Yeah. And she plays the role it's exactly how I'd expect her to be. She's absolutely brilliant.
I've seen, so although I haven't watched any of The Crown...
HB's Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, sorry, the HBC. The HBC. Although I've not watched much, I did watch a heartwarming clip of it this week of what looked like when Princess Margaret was marriage was falling apart and she was pushing things a bit too far in her life and taking a lot of drugs and alcohol. And this hugely moving scene. And I think Olivia Colman, the way she's playing the Queen, she does this amazing sort of almost... She's emotional, but at the same time she has this sort of cold professional detachment, even in her own personal life.
That's how you'd imagine the Queen to be.
Yeah, and it's... she's just such a damn good actor.
She's great,
you can't beat Olivia.
And it's one that she was forgotten for a bit. And then all of a sudden she's just gone, bang, hit after hit after hit. Oscar,
I think she was having children.
That's probably what it is.
Raising a family and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, what, you forgot about me? The big OC? What?
Where's my little statue?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Give me 3.
Yeah. But either way, I'd recommend it. If you've got any interest in that sort of period stuff and you like the royal family, give it a go. I mean, it's cool.
So, let's move on and let's talk about the real tube. The YouTube.
The YouTube. What's the first thing we're going to talk about?
This week, I've been obsessing, as I always do, most weeks, I obsess with a new thing on YouTube each week. This week, I've been obsessed with these videos I've come on. It's a guerrilla journalist by the name of Nardwar the Human Serviette.
Brilliant.
Now, Nardwar, apparently, he's been going for 30 years now, maybe 40 years, and he's this very, very kooky guy, and he kind of plays a character when he interviews people. And he's very sort of geeky and awkward. He wears a lot of plaid. He wears one of them big golf caps.
Oh, yeah.
He wears one of them. But he interviews a lot of very high-profile people. Most interestingly, lots of people who are very, very big in the rap game. I'm talking people like Odd Future, ASAP Mob, Snoop Dogg.
Is he in that sort of circle then, or is he just some?
He's a journalist. He's a very earnest journalist. But the best and most interesting thing about it, this is how I came upon him. He does his research, and when I say he does his research, I mean seriously. So in the middle of the interview, he'll just be talking away and being like, "Ask me about that," and just talking to him, and then he'll be like. And Louisiana chicken. He says this to Kendrick Lamar. He's like, Louisiana chicken. What do you think of Louisiana chicken? And Kendrick Lamar's like, what? How do you know about Louisiana chicken? He's like, well, it's your favourite place. You represent Compton. It's the best chicken place in Compton. He's like, oh, yeah, it is the best chicken place in Compton. It's around the corner from my mum's house. And he's like, yeah, with the bulletproof glass. He's like, yeah, with the bulletproof glass. And you always order the number 3, right? Yeah, I ordered the number 3 when I was in 8th grade. What? He blindsides them with these tremendous things. He brings them gifts as well, and the gifts are stuff like it's always like something that they've wanted forever. Like with Kendrick Lamar, he brings out a Big Daddy Kane original signed LP, and he's like, and this is a gift for you, and they're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Already they're like, their defences have come down.
Snoop Dogg, he brings him like this VHS, and he brings him like a VHS of one of his first ever. It's something called Smokefest. It's like the first VHS that Snoop Dogg ever wrote and directed, and he's never found a copy in 20, 30 years. Cool. And they're emotional over it, and he provides these raw and inspiring interviews, and you can tell that the subjects that he's interviewing as well, they're enjoying it, and they seem to, like again and again, they turn around and they kind of go, "That's the most enjoyable interview I've ever had." Because most people just ask the same question again and again. Oh, how do you get started in the rap game? Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Oh, what's it like being a female comedian? But he actually does his research and asks some interesting questions. And if anything else, just watch some of the compilations of him blowing people's mind with his mad insight and research. They're amazing. Just type in Nardwar compilations and check him out. He's amazing.
Cool. Definitely. It sounds like I'm definitely going to look at that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely watch that. It reminds me a bit, there's another YouTube, which is actually a serious radio show called Air Talks.
Yeah,
and she gets these interviews with just the best. I mean, Howard Stern interview was really like, not what you would think it would be from Howard Stern. It was a real opener, about his wife and his previous life and everything like that. Dave Grohl, she interviews everyone and they're brilliant. They're always good. I love an interview show.
Love a good interview.
Love an interview.
We should do some interviews.
We should do some interviews.
If you want to be interviewed by us, I mean, we're not exactly, we haven't got talent knocking at the door.
No.
So,
but we can figure it out.
If you want to be interviewed, if you've got something that you think's important, a view, a perspective, a new media project, movie, YouTube series or music, then get in touch.
Yeah, let us know. We always need a little bit of help.
Yeah. What have you been watching on YouTube this week?
I have been watching this channel for a while. I mean, I've got a making channel.
Yeah. He does have a very good making channel.
I've got a making channel. So I've got my hobby is blacksmithing and metalwork. There's a great YouTube blacksmith called Alex Steele. Now,
it's Alex Steele.
His real name, Alex Steele.
It was destiny.
So, and just up the road from here is where he was born and raised and everything like that. He's now moved to Montana and got himself a big workshop out in Montana. Only like early 20s, young guy still, but really talented. Focuses on knives and swords and things like that. But this week he's had a little bit of a U-turn. Well, not a U-turn. He's gone completely opposite direction, and he has jumped on the Mandalorian bandwagon. So we still don't really know what the context... Still don't really know what the context is. Because we have not seen The Mandalorian yet, because Disney is not here.
Disney, why are you doing this to us?
But as far as I can tell, the Imperial credits that we've heard so much about in the past are made of a specific type of steel.
Alright.
Which resembles very closely a type of steel that we make in the blacksmithing world called Damascus steel. Which is basically swirly-whirly patterned steel, uses different grades of nickel and carbon steel welded together and then etched with acid to make it look really cool. So he's made basically a block of that, stamped with an Imperial insignia. But the cool thing about it is obviously he's using very, very hot things to heat metal up. He's got power hammers, he's got all the cool tools, all the big boy tools, and it's just making stuff gold. It's worth a watch. Even if you're not a fan of that sort of thing, if you like Star Wars, you like nerdy stuff like that, watch him. He's a nice guy. He's really a really good YouTube channel. I really love it. It's one of those ones that I've watched for years, and every time he brings a video out, I'm straight on it. Shout
out to Alex Steele. So let's move on and let's talk some tech.
Yeah, Tesla, the gift that keeps on giving. Tesla have brought out their adages list for the new Cybertruck. So I love this Cybertruck, and I'm definitely getting one.
Yeah.
I'm 100% getting a Cybertruck. They've also brought out a fully electric ATV.
And I think that's the weird thing, is I remember this in the press conference, there being the ATV on the back of the Cybertruck, and I was like, that's publicity guff. That's not a real thing.
It turns out that the Cybertruck's cooler than we could ever have imagined. So comes with its own integrated compressor, so you can run air tools from it.
Yes.
So if you break down, you can take, as long as you've got a toolkit with you, you can completely repair. You can replace anything on site.
How strong is the compressor?
Very, very strong. It's strong enough that it can lift the 4-ton pickup truck up. The main point of the compressor is to lift. So you've got to lift.
That's the jack.
Yeah. Well, you've got a wheel lift as well. So if you're going over rough terrain, you can jack the car up, drop the car down, run air tools off of it. You can also inflate an airbed off of it, which comes built into the flatbed of the truck if you buy the camping pack.
Awesome.
Not only that, you've got a detachable tailgate which doubles as an electric grill.
Yes.
You plug that back into the Cybertruck, you're grilling. You've got the camping pack. So then you've also got this ATV.
Oh my!
It's effectively, if you can imagine if they had quad bikes in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
No, you know the first new Star Trek film.
Yes.
When James T. Kirk's a kid and he gets pulled over by the.
Yeah.
You know, he gets pulled over by the police.
Yeah, and he has the bike.
Yeah, and he's got a flying motorbike, sort of
Yeah.
dread style. It's one of them basically with wheels.
With wheels.
It looks awesome, and to be honest, if I don't get the Cybertruck, I'm getting one of them.
I feel like you couldn't. If you had the ATV without the Cybertruck, it's kind of like wearing a Ferrari cap and not owning a Ferrari.
But the thing is, you're still going to be able to do. I think it's going to be so fast.
Do you think the ATV is going to be its own little
It's
thing?
going to be its own thing.
And in the back of that, there's going to be like a remote control car that's electric, that's
that
amazing
comes
as
out.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
and it's
my
just going to get
God.
smaller and smaller. There'll be a drone takes off from the back. But what I can't
There's
wait
a
for...
micro machine that comes
That's
out the
it,
drone.
yeah. Or like a little beetle that takes off. It's like a spy drone. But what I can't wait for is for people to get hold of these and start modifying them.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest with you, the Ariel Atom is one of the best British built sports racer cars.
Beautiful.
You know, it's basically a motorbike with four wheels.
Yeah.
With a 2-litre turbocharged
It's like a
engine.
damn grown-up go-kart.
It's just the coolest thing
Yeah.
ever. Notoriously bad for restarting. Like,
Yeah.
a friend of mine's got one, and I don't see him that often. I've still had to push him down the road to jumpstart the car like 2 or 3 times. But very cool, very fast. Now, when people get hold of these and start modding them up into things like that, putting roll cages on them, self-correctors, you know, taking them off-roading, you know, properly testing them, that's when we're going to see some really cool stuff, and that's what I'm excited about.
Bring me Cybertruck.
Bring me Cybertruck. Megatron's PA, as we call it.
So, let's move on and let's talk video games. Okay, so otherwise, we've already spoken about your rise to the top in Drag Racer, but...
Did we speak about that? Because I'm now in the top 950 players in the world.
950. Oh my God, it's a rise!
For those of you that don't know, I am one of the greatest drag racing players.
He's basically Vin Diesel.
Yeah, basically. I've got the physique, I've got the aptitude, obviously, for driving. Because
And it's all about the family.
It's all about the family. All joking aside, I'm getting pretty good at it. Well, I've been good at it for a while. It's the only thing I'm actually very good at on a video game.
It's the only video game you play.
Yeah, it is. And I'm at 949 now, so that's pretty good. If you want to carry on tracing my rise to the top, hopefully I can get into the top 100 within the next year or so.
Yeah, because don't be a glory hunter. Don't just start following him once he's in, you know, top 100, top 10.
Yeah, get in there now.
You have to get behind him now and follow the journey.
That's what the prizes are.
Yeah, otherwise you're a fair weather fan.
Yeah, don't be that. Don't be that guy. Be the guy who supports me all the way through, because my wife doesn't.
So, otherwise, in serious gaming news, of course, we had the announcement of the next generation Xbox console, the Xbox Series X. X.
I'm a bit confused about this.
Yeah.
When we spoke about this earlier, you basically said, "Oh no, this is the whole next gen," and I just assumed this was going to be like the equivalent of iPhone and iPhone S.
And this is the trouble, and where I think they've already messed up is this naming scheme is all over the place. So let's backtrack. We had the Xbox, then we had the Xbox 360, then we had the Xbox One, then we had the Xbox One S, then the Xbox One X, and now the Xbox X Series X.
Yeah, which I just don't get why they didn't go 360, 720, 1080. You know what I mean?
The easiest way of explaining this to most people, most non-gamers who have a vague clue, is to say, well, the difference between the Xbox One and the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X is the difference between PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Now, you immediately got that, and that's why the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 naming scheme works for Sony.
Sense, yeah.
I get really excited in the run-up to this. I mean, this was the first drop in what's hopefully going to be a long year of delicious, lovely, spectacular console wars, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. There's only going to be one person that wins this, though.
The consumer.
No, Bill Gates. I mean, if the consumer thinks they've won, it's because Bill's let that happen.
I've created an algorithm that makes you feel that you are.
Get Bill Gates in. You told us Windows 95 would be faster.
With better internet browsing and email.
It is.
It's over 5.
Sorry, South Park references there. It's on Netflix actually now. Big Along
Yeah, South Park Big Along
yeah,
the Run
yeah.
Cut's on Netflix.
It's worth watching.
Anyway, so
if you're a millennial.
the Xbox Series X was announced, and it's speaking of South Park. This looks eerily like the Origami Games film. It does. It's got this weird glowy bit at the top. We'll throw a picture up for you now so you can see what the Xbox Series X looks like.
If we may have done that, we may not have done.
And if we haven't, I'm sorry.
Just
then I'm just pointing at thin air. But the Xbox Series X, it looks slightly different now. It looks like almost like a wine gift box sort of thing, but with a big open vent at the top. Still takes discs.
Disc, yeah. Can you stream?
You can still stream. It's got a share button now on the controller.
So is that sort of lends itself to YouTube a bit? You can record.
Yeah. Just like so again, so PlayStation had this on this generation as well. The PS4 had the share button, and you could take screenshots or stream straight to YouTube.
They know what they're doing now, don't they?
Yeah, and everyone knows that's where gaming is going to go. And then beyond that, other things they've said about, interestingly, the architecture, both the architecture of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, is the Ryzen or Zen 2 processor from AMD. So they're probably going to be on very, very similar architecture, which is good news as well for developers who are making things, cross-platform.
Yeah, multi-platform. That's.
It should take a very short while.
We don't know what's happened in the top offices. What they've agreed to, Microsoft and Sony and everyone, they could have all agreed. This is the tech we're going to use because this is what we want to do. The developers will all be on board because they'll go, well, it means we're going to have better retention with customers and stuff like that because they'll be able to play with all their friends no matter what console they've got. Makes the difference, doesn't it? Whereas before it was, if you've got an Xbox, you can only play with Xbox people. If you've got a PlayStation, and there was this, they liked that rivalry.
Yeah.
And now they've got their sort of their core
fan base.
They've now sort of realised that the fans are.
We want to play with each other.
Yeah,
we want cross-platform support.
Yeah, and if you're the only bloke in your class at school or uni or whatever that's got an Xbox, everyone else got a PlayStation. You're a nobody. Sorry.
So otherwise, Xbox Series X. Other capabilities it's got 4K up to 120 FPS, so not necessarily 120 FPS at all times. I think that will vary.
Kind of needed though, because that's where it's going, especially when 6K TVs and stuff start coming out.
Oh, and both consoles have said they're going to be able to output up to 8K. But I would be stunned. I mean, if you understand what it takes in a PC, what kind of hardware it takes in a PC to put out 4K at 60 FPS. You're talking an £1,000 PC easily, if not maybe a bit higher than that, maybe £1,500. So for them to put out a console that can consistently put out 4K at any kind of decent settings at 60 FPS, I'd be very surprised. I think there's going to be some budgeting, and I think we'll see some interesting cost-saving measures along the way. We might see a baseline increment increase, which usually happens around console generations. Yeah. So I think,
especially ones released around Christmas.
I think we could see this year, the advent of the. I think we saw the £60 launch game. We started to see the £60 launch game towards the end of this console generation. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of it all we're looking at the £70 or even the £75 new release games.
Which is what it's worth. I mean, if you're going to get a game that's going to last you for hours of major gameplay, tens to hundreds of hours of major gameplay, and then a great multiplayer platform, £75.
Yeah, it still presents value, but I think we have to be careful because obviously there's been the rise of microtransactions in the last decade of gaming, and I think a lot of gamers would agree that if I'm paying that much, then I want to be paying that once and be getting delivered, just like in the good old days, a complete game. That's what I want. I don't want to be paying piecemeal for the rest of the game.
Yeah, having to pay for add-ons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not on.
Yeah. Just another quick video game chat before we move on to the next subject. I assume you were moving on to the next subject. Yeah. We just briefly spoke about this, but Smith's Toy Store bringing out a range of build-your-own coin-op classic video games. Started off with Pac-Man, Space Invaders and Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I haven't got a price. I looked all over the shop and I even asked the people in the shop how much they were. They said, no idea, just built them. Literally haven't even got the price list through yet. But ideal Christmas present for anyone, who's stumped for what to buy. Have a look at Smith's Toy Store website. I sat there and played Street Fighter 2 for a couple of minutes, and it's joystick, multiple buttons, exactly how it would be, but it's literally a third of the size. So you could easily put it in a living room. You could put it in a games room, whatever you've got, office, whatever. It's cool. I mean, it's not desktop. You need a seat by it, but it's manageable.
I've always felt, as a mega nerd, although there are so many arcade games that I truly love, and I've said, if I was going to get one of these, the one that I would get, or my dream one, would be, if anyone remembers, the original arcade cabinet Simpsons game, which was a 4-player game. It was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It was a 4-player arcade cabinet game. If I could get any, I'd get that. But other than that, I don't know if there's many games where I'd be happy.
Metal Slug.
Yeah, but still...
Doragon.
I don't know if I'd be happy having that much space, in my life, in my, my flat.
Yeah, it could take over, couldn't it?
Just with one game.
Yeah, it would be cool if you could get one that had a multiple. Like the ones that you can build that plug in the back of the TV sort of thing.
Yeah,
you just got one of those in its own counter unit that came with. I like the SNES emulator. You can buy a SNES emulator for a couple of £100 that's got every game ever made for the SNES on it. So if you could get one of them to plug into it, then
I think one of the big arcade operators, Namco, Capcom, one of them needs to come out with one that's just like a definitive, a definitive all-out gaming cabinet with all the games.
Official news. That's what the consumer wants, aka us. So if Namco, Capcom, Sega, Nintendo, any of those are watching, Viacom even, then make that for us and we'll buy it.
We'll do a product review for you. We'll do an unboxing. We'll sort that out.
All of those things.
Don't worry. We were just speaking to a young person.
Yes, a youth, if you will.
A youth. A family friend.
Off the back of recently, for those of you that don't know, if you've been under a rock in this country or if you live abroad, we had a general election.
We did.
Yes, it was a big voting turnout.
Yes.
You're into politics. You love politics.
I'm very into politics. In fact, I was at my local count. I stayed up till like 6 in the morning.
I went to work at 4:30 and I texted him and I literally was like, bang, delivered. Text
I was
back. It's like,
still up.
You'll never believe what's just happened.
I was super wired. I drank so much coffee as I do every. But I mean, I've been watching election nights through since I was 97. I must have been 9.
Yeah, 9. Yeah,
and I've always been deeply politicised, and so it's always quite. It took a lot of getting used to for me as a child, and then growing up, to meet people who weren't so into or aware of like local and national politics.
Yeah, and it's always been a struggle for governments, and it's when it doesn't happen, the governments forget about certain demographics. So if the statistics come back and say, America's a prime example. Before Obama, the African American constituent wasn't registered, didn't vote, so there was no focus on them. In our country, it's the youth. The youth are very vocal about what annoys them and what they want and what they don't get, but they're not willing to actually go out and vote against what they moan. Oh, the old people have all voted this in and we don't like it. Well, there's a solution to that problem.
Yeah,
register yourself and vote. A lot of youths, it turned out, don't know how to register. They've got every ounce of information ever created by the human race literally in their pocket, and they can't figure out how to register to vote. So the good chaps over at Snapchat have made it incredibly easy for them.
Oh.
You can now register to vote via Snapchat. Now, in our age group, we don't know how to use Snapchat.
This girl was talking about red conversations and blue conversations and purple conversations.
Yeah, and when we said, do you take the red conversation or the blue conversation, she looked blankly at us and said, they're completely different things.
And then I think she went, oh, that's from a movie or something.
I've heard of that. Is that from like a movie, like an old film?
Oh.
It's from The Matrix.
One of the best science fiction films ever made, actually.
Yeah.
Made me question my whole reality, actually. Made me realise Keanu Reeves, actually, is one of the best actors, actually.
Actually, yeah.
Morpheus, have you heard of him?
No, she hadn't. That was the problem. But because of this, she will register to vote, which is great.
Which is a wonderful thing. Anything, because I was having a go at a young person the other day.
Obviously, because that's what we do, because we're old.
No, a friend, and a work colleague. But I was saying, like, you're going to vote, and they weren't sure, and I was like, you've got to vote. And I think youth engagement in democracy is just vital. So I don't care how, even though I don't understand it, I don't care. I don't care what people's roads to democracy are, as long as they're not being unduly influenced and they're making their own decisions and having their own mind.
Usually they are, though, because their parents are telling them.
Yeah. But I don't care what someone's road is to democracy. So if they want to register to vote and Snapchat's a means to that end, then fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, what we don't want to do is we don't want to go down the route of Australia where we get this forced vote. You know, it's a fine if you don't vote. I know that you agree with that, but we both know my political stance on certain things like freedom of speech and hate speech and all that sort of thing. If the government's telling you to do something, I don't like it. You can't drive a diesel anymore. 2 years ago, you told me to buy a diesel. I went out and bought a diesel. Yeah. If you want to drive in this city, you've got to pay us to do it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take the train. You know, I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want you to tell me to do it.
That's probably... You just reminded me of my favourite line from our trailer reaction video.
Which one?
Skywalker. Never owned an Oyster card.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch the
I don't tap in anywhere.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't need the bus.
I haven't used
If I'm going to ride the bus, I'm going to be on the roof of it. Ducking under tunnels.
And he would be as well.
He would be, yeah.
Madman. So I think that rounds it all up this week.
So it does, yeah. That was a good one. I like that one. We got a bit political towards the end.
Yeah, but not too much.
Maybe next year, comment in the video, let us know what you think. We may do a political live stream. From the next election. Obviously, we have one every 6 months. Yeah. About something or other.
We'll do one about the next one.
Yeah, city council elections. They'll be up soon, probably. Yeah. Cool. So thanks very much, guys. Thanks for coming back. Thanks. If you're new here, thank you so much for sticking this long with the video.
Yeah, we really appreciate you watching our videos to the end. We really appreciate all of the people that have been just watching the videos, liking on the videos, or sharing the videos around. Sincerely, we thank you so much.
Yeah, really we've had some great comments from people. Everyone's, a lot of people saying thank you.
But not real ones on the video.
Yeah, not on the video, in real life. We're trying to move into a virtual world and you're ruining it for us.
I've had people pinging me on the D-Lo and being like, Dan, wow, really loved your video. Just wanted to say I loved your video.
Well, why don't you say online? Selfish.
Say it there. That's a subscriber loss.
Right, sorry guys. Please don't unsubscribe for that. Please subscribe. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're returning, thank you so much. Please remember to like the videos. You can dislike the videos as well. We don't mind. Just let us know why.
Just give us some feedback.
If you don't like it, tell us why and we will change it. That's what we're all about. Democracy. Yeah. So please, keep coming back. Keep staying with us. We're so glad that you guys are enjoying it. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Nice.